My research question is, what is my favorite type of reality show? To analyze this, I am looking through my DVR recordings to see what type I record the most. Initially, I was going to do what is my favorite type of show, but I quickly realized that most of my recordings were reality shows, so it wouldn't have shown much variety in my data. So for the first show, Say Yes to the Dress, I labeled this as wedding because it's about women who are recently engaged and going wedding dress shopping. For Married at First Sight, I also labeled as wedding, but I was a little unsure of this at first because, yes, there is a wedding and it's about marriage, but it's also about their lives together following their wedding where they meet right at the altar. So, although I had to really think about this one, ultimately I do think this is going to be labeled under wedding. I think it fits the best out of all the other categories for the reality shows. American Ninja Warrior, I labeled as competition because it's about athletes from all over the country that come in to this area and compete in this really intense obstacle course. So that's obviously a competition and they can win a grand prize in the end. Then I have recorded the show called Very Cavallari, which is about Kristen Cavallari, who is from Laguna Beach, another reality show I love from the early 2000s. But this new show is about her life now, so I labeled it as a docusoap. I actually had to look this term up because I was unsure how to label a reality show only about someone's life. Watch What Happens Live is a talk show, so it will not be included in this data analysis, but I must point out that Andy Cohen mostly interviews reality stars, or as he calls them, Bravo celebrities. Southern Charm Savannah is about a group of social elites and their lives in Savannah, so I labeled it as a docusoap as well. For Love It or List It, I labeled it as a home improvement show because it is a show with a realtor and a designer in competition to see if the couple at their current house would rather update it or just sell it. So it shows some really great home improvement tips in that too. The Real Housewives and Total Bellas are both considered docusoaps because they are reality shows that focus on people's lives over an extended period of time. Candy Coated Nights is a talk show, so it is not included in this data, but the host is known for being in The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Dr. Pimple Popper is a docusoap as well, and I do not recommend it. We couldn't even finish the whole episode because it was so vulgar, I guess, and gross. But it's about an extended period of time where they record a dermatologist doing her job. I Want That Wedding is a show about brides or future brides who get to visit other weddings and kind of steal ideas to plan their own. So I categorize that under wedding. The Help is a movie, so it doesn't fit into this data analysis. And Murder Calls is a true crime type show. And at first I kind of toyed with the idea of maybe it going reality show category. However, it's about real things and real crime, so I feel like that's kind of its own thing. I feel like it's closer to a documentary than a reality show. I labeled Flip or Flop as home improvement because it's about two people that go in and buy a house that needs some serious updates, so they update it and then resell it. And then Primal Instinct and Disappeared are both true crime shows, so will not be included in this data analysis. And lastly, we have Jersey Shore, which is a docusoap about a group of friends that just stay in a house together and then just do random things, and it's somewhat entertaining. After doing a final tally, I noticed that competition was the lowest ranked as I only had one show recorded for that. Home improvement I had 2 shows, wedding was 3, and docusoap was 6. This data analysis helped me to conclude that docusoaps were my favorite type of reality shows to watch. In analyzing this data, I found it surprising that it was hard to label some shows. I figured it would be so easy because of the topic being reality shows. However, I struggled a little in determining what Married at First Sight was, and then if true crime shows would fall under the reality TV category. To confirm my answer, I ended up looking into what the actual definition of a reality show was. However, it didn't totally reassure me, so I looked further into it and actually found conflicting information whether true crime shows were reality or documentary. So then I decided to review the definition of a documentary, and that confirmed my decision that true crimes fall under that category. With Married at First Sight, initially it seemed obvious that I would label it under wedding, but then I was thinking of the new term docusoap and worried that it could fall under that. However, I reverted back to my original thoughts because the main idea is the wedding and their first few months of marriage.